What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for the 29th episode of the Fresh in the Feed podcast. My name is Matt, his name's Adam, and we're refreshing your feed so you don't have to. John Cena.
Matthew Torino's a teleporter.
Bears eat berries, not people.
Let's go!
Okay, Adam, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Like my previous guest, the last time you were on the show was...
For your sister's favorite podcast.
Your sister's favorite podcast. That was like... Probably two years ago, same time as my last guest.
Yeah. Well, I would say about a year. I would say a year-ish, year and a half. No.
Well, if you think about it, COVID was like a full year, so it was
was it before COVID happened?
Yeah, it was before.
Okay, it was about 2 years then.
Yeah, 2 years.
Shit, yeah,
that's time ago. Now that you think about it, a lot's happened. A lot has happened. Number one, we weren't in the studio.
Yeah.
Number two, your show was just getting started, pretty much like mine, right? Like you.
I think you started before me. I don't think I was doing it, but it was right.
Your show was just getting started, which is crazy to see how far you've come, right?
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
If you take a look back, my first question for you was if you were able to see your first self, like the first 10 episodes guy,
mm-hmm.
what advice would be the first thing you would say to him?
Probably to just relax and not take everything so seriously. I think when I first started, I was always, and I think you were telling me too last time, that you always try to make things perfect and always being so picky with everything, which is good because you want to make things perfect. But I think it's hard to make things perfect because even right now, I'm in the midst of so many changes of the way that I want the show to look and the branding. Like in the next month, I'm rechanging everything again. I'm rebranding it again. But that's because I overthink stuff. So I think the advice I would tell my early stages Adam for the show would be just to have more fun with it and to do exactly what you want to do and not look at it so much what other people want to see.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I try to do what, it's hard to explain. I want to cater to people's likings, but I also want to be true to myself.
Yeah, I get that totally. I think this podcast also is in a way I feel the same way, just because you're always trying to entertain and keep energetic when you're doing your interviews or your shows or whatever, and you kind of lose sight of just having fun.
Yeah.
Doing it. I'll be honest with you, the best part of doing all this is actually recording, right? Thinking about analytics and post production's very stressful, and it's always very meticulous and things like that. So I feel when you're just here and you're just talking like we are right now, I feel that's the best part and the most exciting part of it.
Well, that's why we do what we do,
yeah.
Right? We want to just connect with people and just have a good conversation, right? That's what I've been trying to do even from the very beginning. I first wanted it to be like Saturday Night Live, where it's get people on but do funny skits with them. Now I'm just I wanted it and that's why I changed it so many times. I'm I don't even like doing that. I'm just doing it because Saturday Night Live's a big thing. Why can't I be like that? But there's no point of doing that if I don't really like it.
Yeah, exactly. For those of you listening or watching, if you don't know already, Adam is the host of the Up and Adam Show.
Mm-hmm.
Every week he has guests. He has conspiracy theories by the Bad Batch podcast, and Luke does the movie reviews. Yeah. At the cinema? No. What's it called exactly?
Cinebros podcast. But it's called At the Box Office.
At the Box Office, yeah. So there's a different dynamic there now. I see you've developed into such a diverse episode that's sort of compact, rather than just kind of content that's always publishing. And you have Luke, you have the Bad Batch, you have there's things before the singular episode that was kind of not all over the place, but a lot of content, right?
Yeah, then that was the problem at first.
Yeah, I want to know what's, now that you've moved over, do you find it easier that it's sort of condensed, or do you find it that you lose that consistent content sort of atmosphere when you have just things always being posted?
Well, I think it's a mix of both. I think I like having it where it's compact because it makes it easier for editing.
Yeah.
For one, because every time they send their clips in and then I get Justin to edit them, makes it so much easier because it's just, instead of making it so sporadic where it's okay, Luke sends one video, I'll post that on a Monday. Oh, Bad Batch, okay, I'll post that on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
My interview, post on a... It's so complicated because, especially me, I'm very, I'm not patient at all.
Yeah.
So if I have something that's edited and I'm telling myself, okay, I want it done for this day, knowing me, I'll probably post it that night instead of a week out. Because I just want it out. I'm so excited to have it out. But with this, it's good that I'm not in control of it. Before, I was doing a lot of the editing. Like I would help Justin do a lot of the edits, but now he's taking full control of everything.
Yeah.
Makes it easier for me because I just give it to him, and it's like he's in control of it.
It's off your mind, yeah.
It's off my mind. I don't have to worry about, okay, is it done? Like, post it tonight. I'm excited. Yeah. It's like I have to wait till it's fully published, which is usually on a Friday night or Saturday.
Yeah.
And when I watch it, I'm like really excited. Then it's like I can't wait for the next day, the Sunday, to be fully posted and published. So I do like how it's like that. I do miss, however, that it is sporadic throughout the week because, again, more content. But I was noticing that it's hard for the viewer, like it's hard for people to tune into that stuff. Again, like when you don't have a consistent schedule.
Yeah.
I noticed my views for a lot of the videos were like down when I was doing that kind of format. That's why I changed it. Now, the past 2 videos actually did pretty well. Both got over 100 views. So, which is like, whatever. Honestly, for me, like I don't do it for the views, but I look at it like a business too. Like, okay, if it's doing well, like let's continue that. So I do like that format of having everything combined.
Yeah, I think that's like a big characteristic of content creators. It's very common that like you see people that are publishing a lot and they're sort of selling themselves as a brand and things like that. I think when you have that trait of I want to get this out now because it's done, I think that's like a characteristic that like goes really far. Just because when you're someone that like prolongs things, like I know when something's edited, like when I finish editing something or I finish like it's ready to go, like, and it's like 3 days before like my scheduled date that I post every Monday. Every Monday morning, if you're listening to this, be sure to tune in every Monday morning. Everything's posted at that time, right? Yeah. So if it's edited on like the Friday or like it's done the Saturday or whatever, it's kind of like I gotta wait like 3 days.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You know what I mean?
Like, you feel like it's like it's such like a.
I want to get this out, right? Yeah, exactly. But after watching, so like, as I said before, you started off with it was just interviews.
Yeah.
Just at the time, so I want to know like, when you started developing different forms of content, what sort of, I know you personally, but for those listening, what sort of pushes you into the direction of film and what inspires you? I know you're like a big 80s guy, you like that type of theme and stuff like that, so I want to know what pushes you in that direction rather than like somewhere else. Yeah,
so instead of being more like modern, like too modern, you mean?
Yeah, or like what inspired you to do that type of content?
Well, I'm a big fan of like Johnny Carson. I've talked about last time, and I like Jay Leno. I actually last time we spoke, I didn't mention Jay Leno, but I've actually been watching a lot of his old his. So
that Jay Leno was like one of the first talk show hosts that I ever like loved.
That same year. I don't know why I didn't tell you that last time.
Yeah. Because we talk about Jimmy Fallon a lot.
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon. I love Jimmy Fallon as a person.
Yeah.
I don't like the show though. Like as the Tonight Show is, right? And it's been changing. And that's why that's what inspired. So the way I have it now, for those listening who don't really know, I have it where it feels like a talk show. It feels like the Tonight Show, where it's like I come in with my suit, I do a little monologue, then I have my interview, then I have different stuff like Luke and
looks like a whole
But I like that, dude. But I'll be honest with you, the reason why I want to change it again and make it more not modern, but more a relaxed setting is because I feel like it's too. I'll be honest, it's a little corny the way I have it right now. I love it, and people might not think that.
It depends the type of content that you actually want, right?
That's the thing. I do want. There's a part of me that wants it like that because I do love the talk show, Tonight Show, which is why.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, it inspired me because I grew up watching that stuff. Jay Leno, Saturday Night Live. I love that type of stuff. And I just think it's a way, it's like an escape. It's like you're watching a show, which is why it's called The Tonight Show, right?
Yeah.
It's not just watching a regular podcast, a regular just interview. It's like you're watching a show where it's like I come in, my monologue, do an interview, and have all these things going on. But I think I can still have that format where I have myself interviewing Luke and Bad Batch, but doing it where instead of me coming in and doing my monologue, it's just me sitting, because I'm actually, for those who don't know, again, I'm creating my studio, which I told you about, and that's gonna be where I can't wait to show you that. It's gonna be really, really nice. But again, just coming in instead of wearing a suit, just wearing a nice outfit, normal, talking to the camera very casually, and just doing an interview, keeping things more, just keeping it very simple. I think that's the thing. I think I'm overcomplicating the way I'm doing it, so I want to kind of simplify it. But yeah, the inspiration comes from, I love 80s movies, love just all that pop culture. I think I'm fascinated by it. Yeah. And since I didn't live in that time, it's almost like when I do look at that stuff, it's like watching a different it's
like new information.
Yeah, it's like new, but it's old, but it's new for you. It's new for me. So I get fascinated. I'm like, wait, that's how they used to live or do things. It's fucking awesome. So.
Yeah, that's dope. No, I think like I've talked about it a lot. Between YouTube and TikTok and new types of content, I think that there's a very short attention span, but in a frame of reference to talk shows, and obviously they were at their biggest with like Johnny Carson, and then like there was a stage with like David Letterman and Jay Leno and Conan for a little bit, whatever, right? So, but there still is a market for talk shows, I would think, and it's not like they're completely obsolete now. Like the Tonight Show is the big moneymaker, obviously. I just think that like before they were like with Johnny Carson and stuff like that, they were huge, like they were the thing. But now with all different types of content, I don't think they're drowned out yet. Like I still think there is a market for it.
Yeah, but you know what though, dude? I think it's also because if you notice, like look at Conan. You see him smoking weed with Seth Rogen. Talk shows itself, of course, they're not gonna be obsolete, but what they're doing is changing. If you noticed.
Yeah, so a lot of content.
The content is changing.
The content's changing, but. If you know, like I watch most of my Jimmy Fallon and Thing content on YouTube.
Yeah, me too.
Right? So like it just translates over. I think it just keeps adapting. It's not really like Thing. James Gordon's another really good example.
I love James Gordon.
Right? So his involvement with the internet and like the way he's adapted to like all the changes. Well, he was fairly new anyways, but the way his talk show is like styled and run is like really modern and new. Right? Yeah. It's not like I'm watching this fucking black and white, like, you know what I mean, like the signature talk shows like black and white and fucking behind the desk only, and it's on from 9 to 10 or whatever it is, 10 to 11, and that's it, right? It's you get the content, you publish it on YouTube, and you see clips on TikTok and clips on Instagram, right? So there's a lot of like exposure now for it, and if anything else, even like podcasting, right? It's like you record here, you have this time that you record, like even if we were live, right? If we recorded live, people would be able to tune in, but at the same time, you're gonna take all the good clips and all the things, and you're gonna post them on
and you're gonna YouTube and things. To people's likings. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do now too. Especially with YouTube, I always want to keep it consistent, like one episode a week, maybe two sometimes if I'm getting overloaded with guests. But I really want to have it consistent, and I think when I am in that studio, it'll be a lot easier because again, you're right. When you record something, again, it's just us talking, and you have it the way it is, and then the clips you can make it your own, right? You can edit the way you want to make it user friendly and stuff like that. But that's what I'm trying to do as well. The way I have it right now, it is more. It feels like you are watching like Jay Leno or Johnny Carson. That's why it's a little bit outdated in a sense, but I do like it though still.
Yeah, but I think it is still entertaining, right? Instead of like, an example is a lot of people. I know I can. Personally, but a lot of people can't sit, unless there's an entertaining guest, like a Joe Rogan podcast or something like that. People can't sit through a 3-hour recording, right?
No,
like,
honestly not.
Like Joe Rogan has like 3, sometimes 4 hours, right? But most of them are like 2 or whatever. But like a lot of people can't just sit through that, right? And just look at and just watch these guys talk, and they need like entertainment. Like I need things going on. Like
you need quick things again with the
transitions and
the short attention spans you're talking
about.
That's a very crucial thing nowadays. Look at TikTok, man.
Yeah, it's extremely hard market to get into, especially for us, only because podcasting is a form of content that's time intensive, not really concentrated short bursts of like excitement or content, whatever, like a little like somebody cutting. It's
more of a slow burn.
Yeah, exactly. So it's hard to sort of chop it up, right? Like you really want to get it in the conversation rather than just like that 15 seconds, like putting clips of 15 seconds of a podcast. It's just like us talking, right? So it gets difficult. But
it does get difficult because again, especially like I had a guest. We did an hour and a half recording, which was my like longest ever. Yeah. And I was talking to Justin. I'm like, dude, you have to cut this down. Like for my new format, I want to have it where it's like at most 35 minutes of an interview, right? So an hour and a half. I literally got to chop up an hour. So it's hard, but it's not because I find like I try to make it where. And you do a good job of it as well, where every question is good. So even if you take out an hour, you still have that other 35 minutes that you're posting that is valuable still. It's hard to post everything, but if you can still make it giving value to people, that's the best way to do it. Yeah,
and the thing is, like, the takeaway from it is when you post like an episode, right, or an interview or whatever it is, that's like an hour, whatever, or a half an hour, whatever it is, but that'll get maybe like if you're really popular, a couple thousand views or something like that. But then you'll post, like a couple hundred views, and then you'll post a 15-second clip, and that has so much more potential to get like 1 million views on TikTok.
I don't know why.
You know what I mean? It's just because people, like, we're victims of it. Do you have TikTok like on your phone? Yeah, right. So when you post, when you're like watching, like when you see like I know even if you're watching this, if you're on TikTok and you see that little bar at the bottom, it's going super slow. You're just instantly discouraged to just keep scrolling, right? Because I don't have time to say through a minute. That's literally a minute. When it's like, okay, they go up to like whatever, how many minutes now, but when it's going like slow, it's roughly about a minute.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, a minute's like nothing. But for content wise, it's like an eternity.
I don't know
like,
why. Yeah.
I have no idea why.
I don't know why we're so impatient.
Yeah, we've just come to that like level. I don't know what, like it's just kind of crazy when you think about it, that like we went originally from like no content to the most small bursts.
I'll tell you why it's like that too. What I'm noticing, I watch more YouTube Shorts than TikTok. I don't know why. I just like my For You page on there.
Yeah.
But I like it that I don't, because then I see stupid. You know what it is, dude? I think there's a lot of stupid content on TikTok. And YouTube.
Yeah.
Not to shame anybody who uses it or like, you know, I watch it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like I get that it's a dance. Like the whole thing revolves around dance. Like just doing the trends and all that. I totally get that. But like some of them are so stupid that it's like, and they have like 4 million likes.
I don't know why.
Like it's just the most likes, and it's like
it's like how working so hard, and it's like
not even just us, but think of how many millions of creators there are.
Millions, dude.
Yeah, it's rough, but like the small stupid content is what really gets you far.
But then you watch and then if you go in the comments, there's one guy, and I'm not hating on him, it's just funny, but you know Cam Casey, I think that's how you say his name.
I probably know if I see him. I don't know.
He does like things where it's like it'll show something and then he'll be like, "Does that actually work? Let's find out."
Oh,
and
yeah.
Do it. There's one I saw it this morning, and I think in my head, like, it's basic fucking physics. It's like he had a bottle and he put a burnt newspaper in it, and then he put a hard-boiled egg in it, and it sucks it in.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh my god, it actually worked."
Yeah.
I mean, the comments, it's like TikTokers finally. It's like when TikTokers discover fire, or it's like cavemen discovering fire, or like TikTokers learning basic physics. And then I'm like, how, man?
Yeah, I know. It's
so everyone. But you see what I mean? Though everyone is hating on it, but it's still getting so much fucking attention.
Yeah, it's crazy. It really is. But it's developed into that kind of like atmosphere. So, you kind of just got to roll with it and enjoy it while it lasts, right? You're not gonna have like, even when Vine was out, people were just like, whatever. They're like, they didn't really think much of it. But when it went away, it was like detrimental, right? Like people didn't really like. People like missed it so much when it was gone.
You know, also the one thing is why I just thought about it. Why maybe those shorter clips do well? Probably because think about it. When you put, for example, your podcast and mine, when it's like an hour episode, for yours are roughly 35-40 minutes, right? Mine's close to an hour. It's a lot of like effort and editing and a lot of like, you know what I mean? So these TikTokers that make videos, have you noticed there's like, again, when it's short, 15, 20 seconds, there's not a lot of effort in it. So it feels like it does feel in a way very authentic and genuine in a way, because it's so short. How can you make it? Yeah. How can you edit it so crazy? How can you put all this effort in it?
Yeah, you can.
So there's a saying for that. It's like when you put less effort in it, it does well. When you it's I know it's a double-edged sword, because if you don't work hard, you won't get success. Exactly. But if you work too hard, I think you miss the important stuff as well along the way.
Yeah.
So
exactly, I agree with you. I just wanted to ask you, your content, sort of, you've had a lot of help yourself being Italian, from the same place I'm from. You have a lot of interaction with other Italians nearby and from afar and things like that. Do you think, obviously it's worked to your advantage, do you think you would be where you are right now if you didn't have that much engagement from the Italians and the Italian community and the support that you get from hardcore Italians and things like that? Because I think it's benefited you a lot, and you've taken it and run with it, which I think is like awesome. I think it's great. I haven't gotten into that sort of style yet, but I wanna embrace it, right? I think you're doing a great job of it. And I want to know, like, you've spoken to hardcore Italians and other big pages and stuff like that, and I want to know, like, when you started doing that, did you think, okay, this is going to take me somewhere? Like, not saying your page is only about Italians, right? But that's an outlet for you. Did you think that was going to be like somewhere that's going to get you, like progress you in the right direction originally?
100%, dude. But the thing is, I didn't do it at first like, oh, I got to get these people on or I got to network because it's going to benefit just me and stuff. So what happened was when I reached out to like people like Hardcore Italians and like even like Mafia Chronicles and like all the other pages and stuff, I did it because I personally love their pages. It wasn't like I just found a random page and was like,
Yeah.
So when I first got in contact with them, and I had the reason I met Mafia Chronicles Justin was because I just DM'd him and said, hey man, I've been following your page for 3 years, which I have been at the time. I'm like, dude, I would love to have you on my show for an interview, talking about like, you know, your love for mob movies. And then we just became so close. And now he like produces my content.
Yeah.
It's just crazy how things work, right? So I think what I did there was that, and not like I didn't even think about doing it. It's just how I am as a person. I do things without wanting anything in return. So when I said like come on my show, I did. Then I was like, hey man, like let's start a mob podcast together. We love that mob stuff together, right? So I took a very deep dive into that kind of realm where it's like mafia movies. And you know, for those who don't know, but a lot of mafia movies are generally based around Italian culture. So a lot of Italians, right? So that's how I got into contact with Hardcore Italians, because he and Hardcore Italians are good friends. They've like done collabs together, and they're friends, right? So now us three we have a group chat now. We like talk business ideas, how to grow and everything, and it's just been evolving so well. And honestly, without them, I wouldn't be where I am, because you know, without networking, without having contacts, you're not going to get anywhere in life. But you have to do it for the right reasons, right? It's not like you're going to reach out to somebody and be like, I'm going to do that because I need to. I know they'll help me, and I know it's only going to benefit me. Like, Hardcore Italians, I've been like, just, even yesterday, I went on Instagram. I was driving around after the game, and I'm like,
I saw you on live with them. Yeah,
and I said, Mike, I said, go on live. I said, I'm in Market Lane. I'm going to film people, and I'm going to say, hey, you're on Hardcore Italians. What do you have to say? And I did that, and it helped him a lot, because people were like, holy shit, like, that's Market Lane. You know, you guys been posting about that. Wow, you have someone there in the whole mix. Because he told me in Chicago, it's not even that, there's no one in the roads and stuff like that. So we're very fortunate to live in a predominantly Italian area where we can experience that love for this Italian culture. So, without them, man, I wouldn't be where I am today at all, because they just kind of propelled me in the right direction. And I know when I get bigger, hopefully, knock on wood, I want to benefit them in a way and value them too, and be like, hey, look, you did all this stuff for me. Now here's my time to give back.
Yeah. I think that, like you said, like, we're very lucky to be in a neighborhood, sort of isolated and with a lot of Italian people, a lot of the culture around us. And I think that there's a lot of, especially like you said, there's other places like New York and Chicago that there is a lot of Italian people. Mm-hmm. It's just like, for some reason, this general area is like a different atmosphere, sort of of Italian culture. It's not like an isolated one. Like there's been like parties and things like that, and like everybody kind of like knows each other. If you feel the same way, I feel like there's a lot of Italian people that like eventually, some way down the line, I'll find a way that I'm either related or I know you through somebody.
Yeah, well,
like, I don't know why, but like everyone that I talk to is like, you went to school with who and what? Like, even if it's just, I'm talking just about Italian people, right? Mm. Like, you went to school with this guy and that guy, and your brother's with this guy. What the fuck? Got him.
Some flies fucking up the show.
Yeah, like, I feel like there's always that, like, you could just like look. Do you feel the same way? I feel like there's always that way of just finding somebody you know somebody through.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. My girlfriend and I are actually cousins. I'm joking. Not yesterday. No, I'm just joking. I made that joke. It's funny. I made that joke yesterday. I was talking to her mom. That's awesome. And she was telling me that because they're from Siderno. Sorry, a little off topic. I'll answer your question, but she was like, oh, you know, there's only 30,000 people in Siderno, 20 to 30,000 people. And I'm like, Doriano, what if me and Francesca are related somehow? What are you going to do? And she's like, no. It was so hilarious.
That's fucked.
Anyway, sorry to get back on topic. No. I know my mind goes crazy. No, but I think it also has to do with the fact that we're a generation ahead of like the people in the States. I talk about that with Mike as well. Like, for him, his grandparents, I don't know if his grandparents were born in Italy or there, but many of the American Italians are like 4th, 5th generation Italians. Yeah. Dude, we're like first, second generation. Yeah. You know, my parents were born there. I know, dude, like look at Bello Bros. They were born there, and they came here. They're first generation. Yeah. It's crazy how things are. So I guess it's just like I don't know, but I agree with you. Even my parents, I forgot who it was in high school. I forgot some guy, but I was just friends with him for a bit in grade 9. But then he moved to Villanova for like soccer or something. Yeah. And his parents have known my parents for like years. Just crazy.
Yeah. They went to high school together.
Yeah, so. Weird, man. Oh, but also too, Matt, my friend Matt, his dad and my dad went to the same high school together and were friends.
Yeah.
And
that's literally what it is. It's like Vaughn or De La Salle or some shit like that. Like some other ones.
Weird, man, how things work. Even Berzani,
yeah.
My girlfriend's dad went to Berzani, and And like again, he still lives in Woodbridge now.
Yeah.
You can probably imagine how many people he still knows in his area. Who knows, man? Maybe like his neighbor, one of his neighbors, went to high school with him. Who knows?
Just a last question before we wrap up. I want to know what the future looks like for the Up and Adam show. I know what it is right now, and if you're watching this, go check it out so you can check it out. So you know what it is right now too. I just want to know what the future is for the Up and Adam show, and I want to know where you see yourself in 10 years with the show. Or let's say 5 years. 10 years is a long time.
Yeah, well, honestly, man, I think the way I picture the show to look is just a very fun and inviting place. Like from an appearance look, I want it to be very fun and inviting and like chill and relaxed. But I also see myself like, honestly, having it where I can do some sort of like Patreon or something like that, where I can make it where I can bring more content to people.
Yeah.
But obviously with more content, it costs more money for me. So it'd be something where they can tune in for extra stuff to make it more feel like you're tuning into something like legit, right? I want to make it a bigger thing than it is, which is good. Also, I would like to get a lot more guests, people that I grew up watching and stuff, which I'm already starting to do a little bit now, a bit. But the more thing I want to do is just network. Maybe, hopefully, man, in 5 years, I would maybe like to be on TV as well. Who knows, right? But even if I don't get to that point, even just to be on YouTube is nice. Man, YouTube's such a powerful platform.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I like to play by ear, but it's a good question because like, it makes me think. Because, like, honestly, man, I just see myself 5 years just being successful with the show, doing what I'm doing, like, hopefully making a living off it, man. That'd be what I would like to do.
It's great to look at it like that, and just to make sure that you're on like a prolonged track, right? You don't want to be like, oh, I don't know if it's gonna be up. Like that's like the worst thing.
Pun there. I don't know if it's me up.
Yeah. you don't know if like, whenever you ask a content creator of like, where do you see yourself in 5 years, and if the immediate response isn't, oh, I don't know if I'm still gonna be making content, like who knows if I'll still be making it or whatever. Like that's it's a red flag, right? So I was like asking, like, where do you see yourself? Like, where do you see the trajectory of the show and things like that? So it makes you also take a toll and take a realization and think, where am I going to be in 5 years, right? Like, I think that to myself a lot. 5 years, 10 years, like...
5 years, so about 5 years ago, we were still in high school.
Yeah.
So think about that.
Right, so 5 years, we're 20, whatever, right? Like, you're almost moving into your 30s in a couple of years, right? So... Well,
also one more thing as well. And I guess it's a good thing as well. I want to be like, you know what Johnny Carson did until he was like 70 or so. I want to be that guy too, man. I want to keep doing it forever. And I feel like I have
you can make a living off it,
Yeah, and especially because like I have an old soul, but I'm also very like kid-like. I feel like when I get older, I'm gonna still have that inner child in me.
Yeah.
So I feel like no matter what, how old I get, I'll still be keeping up with the time. Hopefully, I mean.
Yeah, you know, like when you see those grandparents that are like
very hip and stuff like that.
Yeah, like they're still funny, they're still like energetic.
That's how I like to be. I like to host, you know, to be one of that like to be that guy where that's been doing it for so long. That's like I want to be like a household name where people like they watch me. I said this one time in my show where you know like people. Actually, my dad told me this when he was a kid. He used to watch Johnny Carson right on TV. And he was like, it was so nice because I asked him, what do you like the best about Johnny Carson? Or why'd you like watching his show? He goes, because, you know, I felt like he was a part of our household. I felt like every night I would tell my parents, let's watch Johnny Carson. And you would watch it with him. And even though he's talking to the audience, he's talking to the camera, it felt like he was talking to you. Yeah. So it's like, I want to be that person where people watch me and they eventually say, I want to watch Adam Show. I want to watch Adam Lupis tonight. I want to know who he's going to get. And when I talk to the camera, which is why I do those monologues, I want to make it feel very personable. That's why I'm trying to figure out. Again, it's evolving. I trial and error, but I feel like I'm getting that rhythm going. But it's nice to be very personable with the audience, which is what I want to try to do. Yeah,
that's great. That's great to hear like your process and where you see yourself. I think that's going to be it for us today.
It's fantastic.
That was great. If you're watching this, make sure you check out the Up and Adam Show. Let them know where they can hit you up.
You can follow me on the Up and Adam Show on Instagram, also on TikTok, and then you can just subscribe on YouTube and
all streaming platforms.
Yeah, and for those watching on the Up and Adam Show, make sure to tune in to the Refreshing the Feed podcast. Matt, tell them where they can find you.
So if you're watching this, hit the link in the description. Our TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram handles are all down there. If you're listening to this, check out the podcast in full video on YouTube. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you thought about this interview with Adam Lupis. Adam, thank you again for coming.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it as always.
Don't forget to hit up the Up and Adam Show, and we refreshed your feed so you didn't have to. Peace out.
See you guys.